November 10th. Welcome to Adam's Birthday Book, where each and every day we look into the mysteries of birthdays and their significance on your life path. Today's birthday is November 10th. If you were born on this day, happy birthday. Alright. Let's get started. November 10th. The day of metamorphosis. Those born on November 10th are taken up with the most profound changes possible, both in themselves and the materials or products with which they work. Their personal transformation may at times seem extremely slow and can be quite painful, often involving a real struggle or wrestling in the final stages. Like the lowly caterpillar, November 10 people may need to isolate themselves from the world in a personal cocoon for quite a long period of time, even years, before they can one day emerge as a butterfly. Like the tadpole, they may at the onset bear little resemblance to the empowered being they will become. Often November 10th people paradoxically give the impression of being very constant and unchanging. Yet, if one watches them as one with the minute or even hour hand of a clock, a barely perceptible but certain progression is in fact taking place. In their work also, November 10 people are endlessly searching, magically transforming humble materials into finished products, or energy into services. Most November 10th people display an instinctive knowledge of how things work, admirable patience and a technical mastery of their medium. On the other hand, although they can be magnetic and attractive individuals, they are usually lacking in understanding concerning people at large and may be socially inhibited and self-preoccupied. Those born on this day who realize the importance of social contacts and relying on the right people when necessary will be highly successful. Those who are overly concerned with their own growth to the exclusion of developing their career or place in the world may find life a continual struggle. The phrase, "It's not what you know but who you know," may sound a bit mercenary or crude, but certainly holds more than a grain of truth. At some point in their lives, November 10 people will probably take the rap for having an overly critical and intense nature which is not easily satisfied. Also, their characteristic high seriousness and idiosyncratic habits can rub some people the wrong way. It is true that friends, family or lovers will have to be extremely faithful and trusting in order to stand by them year after year. The self-confidence of November 10th people is not always the highest when venturing out into the world, but even when they get depressed, they maintain a sense of pride and belief in their own worth. Although their personal interior space can be seen as dark from the outside by others, yet they themselves know it well and feel comfortable living in it. Like a blind person, they have thoroughly explored this inner world, and therefore have a realistic notion of their abilities and limitations. Not surprisingly, they rarely overreach, but on the other hand may ultimately not reach far enough. Thus self-knowledge is usually both the cross and the salvation of these fascinatingly intricate people. Numbers and planets. Those born on the 10th of the month are ruled by the number 1, 1 plus C equals 1, and by the sun number 1. People generally like to be first in what they do. The sun tends to grant a warm and well-developed ego, with a distinctly human, positive orientation to life, but because of Pluto's dark influence as Scorpio's ruler, these sunny qualities may well be submerged in November 10th people. Those ruled by the number 1 have highly individual views on most subjects, and in fact can be stubborn. They typically rely on seizing opportunity as the key to their success, but in the case of November 10th people, such decisions can be agonizing. Tarot. The 10th card of the major arcana is the Wheel of Fortune, which signifies both positive and negative reversals in fortune and suggests that there is nothing permanent except change. The Wheel of Fortune teaches that no success in life is permanent, nor any failure. Health. November 10th people are prone to chronic, rather than acute, physical problems. Usually whatever is wrong with them is no surprise, since they have suffered and lived with it for years. A penchant for internalizing their feelings can be a threat in the psychological realm, and in the physical sphere where it can result in problems with internal abdominal organs. Psychological work with a caring professional is generally helpful and may prove absolutely necessary. Those born on this day usually love to eat and are good with food. Indeed, the kitchen is the perfect place for their transformative wonders to take place. November 10th people must keep their culinary imagination and sensuous appreciation within limits, however, especially if their access to nature or stimulating exercise is limited. Advice. Be sensitive to the difficulties you create for others. Come out of yourself and share with the world. Don't be afraid to shine. Open the emotional floodgates more often and allow yourself to be more trusting. Develop flexibility in your lifestyle. Meditation. Plants turn ever so slowly, yet inexorably, toward the sun. Thank you for joining me today on the November 10th birthday, and please don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that little bell, and please tell me if today is your birthday in the comments below. Thank you, you wonderful people, and join me tomorrow on the next episode of Adam's Birthday Book for November 11th.